Okay. Welcome to the next episode of the Steroids podcast. I've got my friend Dawson Weiss back here again, and we're going to talk today. We're just going to talk bodybuilding, and you guys will see what kind of stuff we talk about. Yeah, so what I really wanted to talk, my first thing that I was interested to talk with you about was Retatrutide, because you were such a big Retatrutide fan for so long, and
Yeah,
it seemed to be one of the things that really helped you get your look.
yeah,
I remember at one point you were saying that you're the kind of person who has the genetics where their muscles will be big, but they'll still have like kind of like a soft look to their skin. And then
yeah,
after you found Retatrutide, I mean, that's not the case. You've been probably the opposite of that, and that's most people would probably never guess that you used to feel that way.
yeah. I always feel like, I've always had like thicker, softer skin, like good quality skin. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So on the thicker end, and people would say I wasn't lean enough or I didn't have enough definition, whatever. And that was just probably a body fat thing as well. When I was a little bit younger, I was a little bit higher in body fat. But yeah,
Okay.
when I first started using Retatrutide, uh, it helped me get very, very lean because I stopped eating as much as I used to. So of course, eating a lot less, you get leaner, body fat goes down, and I just got so lean that staying around that 9 to 10% range was pretty effortless for me. And it also does a pretty good job at kind of flushing away a little bit of water retention. I just noticed I'd always be pissing on it, always going to the bathroom on it. And I don't know how it does that, but it has to do with sodium. I'm pretty sure it just flushes sodium somehow and maybe a little bit of inflammation. So
Okay.
overall, it gives a leaner look, but it also burns through carbs, glycogen, a lot faster than if you weren't on it. So just being on Retatrutide, I just noticed that a lot easier to go flat. And of course, when you get flatter, your skin looks a little bit thinner. When there's less glycogen in the muscles, there's less water, in the muscle.
Yeah. What dosages were good? What dosage worked really good for like recomp effect like that?
I would say all of them, like 2, 4, 6. I would say the best dosages for me were around 6 to 8.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's where I hear about a lot of people having the best success is around like 6 milligrams, 8 milligrams. Now I even hear about some people going up to 12 milligrams. It seems like people are really experimenting.
Yeah, people can go up to 12. The issue with that, with for me, I never went above 10. It's just the side effects around that 8 to 10 mark kind of get a little bit more noticeable, mainly the sleep and kind of after a while longer you're on it, I feel like it does kind of it kind of wears you down a little bit. Kind of
Okay.
makes you feel a bit run down because I mean, I'm not a scientist or anything. I don't know a whole lot about the how the glucagon agonism works with retatrutide, but I'm pretty sure having that kind of activated for a long time, can kind of raise cortisol or kind of stress you out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Because it does have that increase in heart rate, so it means your body's working harder. Um, have that over a prolonged period of time, it can kind of add up and maybe it made me feel kind of like just kind of run down, maybe a bit achy, like my body would ache a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're off of it, right?
Yeah, I've been off of it for about probably about 3 to 4 months since I did my first show. I kind of got off of it around there.
Okay. And
Yeah.
did you say you were using Tirzepatide now?
Yeah, I've been on Tirzepatide for about 3 months. So I was off Retatrutide for a few weeks, and then I went to Tirzepatide, and I've been on that since for about 3 to 4 months, around 5 to 10 milligrams. I'm on 10 milligrams now, but that's the dosage I've really liked with Tirzepatide, and they feel like kind of different compounds. Like they're obviously both GLPs, but I feel like Tirzepatide is like the milder version, and Retatrutide is a little bit more extreme. Like it's a
Okay.
little bit more more likely that you might go through side effects, but it could also help you lean out a little bit faster if everything is diet is up to par.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard some weird side effects. Like I've got one girl who has like hair falling out problems from it. I asked her how much she was using, and it was 16 milligrams per week, so it was super high. So, so and I've seen some other guys have some problems with their iron and platelets from it. Did you ever get any of that?
I had low ferritin for a while.
Okay, yeah, I've
Uh,
seen that.
very low, but I think that was more so from the Primobolan I was running versus
Yeah.
just being on a GLP because I stayed on Tirzepatide and I got off Primobolan for a while and my ferritin went up by like a little bit more than double, so almost triple when I was supplementing. Uh, but yeah, I could see that happening too. I feel like people just probably are eating less, and of course, the less you eat, the less nutrients you're taking in, especially if you're not eating a lot of red meat. Maybe you are. You're just working out harder. Your body's, pushing itself a little bit harder to, you have a drug in your system, so you don't really know exactly what's going on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, your new look is not quite as like big and full as you were before.
Yeah.
Now you're going for like a little bit less gear, a little bit less steroids and performance enhancing drugs. Uh,
Yeah.
so the GLP-1 agonists probably go pretty good with that.
They go really well for me because I'm someone that has an enormous appetite, and I have habits of just binge eating and eating a lot of food, especially
Mhm.
at nighttime. Like if there's sweets or whatever, I'm just really hungry. I just keep going, and I've always been that way my entire life. So I have the ability. I gain weight extremely fast. So for
Mhm.
me, it's good to be on something like that because I already eat a lot as it is. So it takes me from overeating all the time to eating at a slight deficit, which is healthier for me and keeps me leaner. And then days where I eat a little bit more, since I could still eat a bunch of food on 10 milligrams terzepatide. Maybe not as much as if I wasn't on it, but I could still take down 7,000 calories some days, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I could probably do 8 to 10,000 every day.
Wow.
Like if
Yeah,
I
you really
really
do have
wanted
that.
to, really wanted to, I could probably do, yeah, 6 to 8,000 average daily.
That's a lot of food.
Yeah, and it's like, how do you get there? It's like, well, you don't eat anything clean. You just eat a bunch of high fat foods. That's what I would
Uh-huh.
do, like milk or fast food or burgers or a bunch of eggs, just really high fat, high carb, moderate high protein. It's like it's not hard to get 6,000 calories down.
Yeah, that is the way. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
so after your competition, that's when you decided that you weren't gonna be going for such a big look anymore, right? And now you're going for what happened there that made you decide you wanted to change what you were going for a little bit?
So my biggest like fear was just competing for the longest time. Like I that's the only thing I didn't do, right? Was compete. So it made me really nervous thinking about it because my whole life I've been building and working towards that. And it's like
Okay.
I kind of got everything down first besides the competing. It's like it was kind of like reversed for me, my bodybuilding career, I guess. So
Yeah.
once I finally was just like um I was taking the oral estrogen, estradiol, and I just felt so fucking good. Like I felt I was on a low test, high primo, 10 IU's GH, and a little bit of Humalog and 4 milligrams of oral estrogen, estradiol, and I was feeling amazing. Like I couldn't be bothered. I felt so alive. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna enter in a show, and I would have never done that before. Without it, I wouldn't have done it. I would have just been in a shit mood, or because that's how steroids make me feel a lot of times. They make me feel standoffish and kind of like cold, and I don't really feel like doing that. Like that's kind of like my mood on steroids a lot of times, kind of robotic. You know
Yeah,
what
and
I
I think
mean?
that's an underrated side effect, like kind of feeling like maybe hostile towards others, or maybe others are hostile towards you, maybe when they
Yeah.
haven't been that way.
Yeah,
Just
you
assuming it.
definitely feel more hostile towards others, and that kind of skews your perception. But it also makes you not really want to be around people or like do stuff that people want you to do. Like you should do this. You're like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? But regarding the competition, I felt really good. I went into it. I didn't diet really much at all. I kind of just ate the same foods that I normally do. I still was eating like a little bit of pizza, like a couple days out, sushi. Like I was just being really relaxed and I was confident in my look. I
You
wasn't
already
like,
had the condition.
yeah, I wasn't like 6%, but I was around like a golden era body fat, like maybe 8 to 9, and
Well,
I was
there
happy
was
with that.
no visible pinches of fat on your body. We couldn't go somewhere and pinch something.
Yeah, yeah, and I was messing with the oral estrogen, so I was trying to fine tune that. So I didn't really know how it was going to be, so it was kind of like uh, just a jump in the dark. Like, all right, I'm just going to see what happens. I'm doing it for the experience, not because I want to place first and win. And a lot of people were kind of shocked by that. I was just like, I'm just doing it for fun. Like, my goal isn't to go up there, and if I lose, it's going to crush me. It was like I just want to go up there and have fun.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's exactly what I did. I went up there. I had fun. It felt very natural. I had to compete in super heavyweight because I was 242 pounds, and the classic weight cap was 227 for 6'1"
Yeah.
and a half. That's what I measured in at. So I was not going to make that. So I was like, okay, 242, and I placed fourth out of 7 people for open, and I was very pleased with that. I had a great time. It was just me and my 2 friends, no coach, no nothing, and I had a fucking blast. I had a great time, and like it felt like one of the best moments of my life being up there.
Oh
Like
man, that's
truly,
cool. Yeah,
yeah, and
and I think first competition, everybody should you don't need to expect to win uh the first time, It's not, I think getting in the middle of the pack there on an unexpected category, that sounded like a good result.
yeah, and what matters, I was very confident up there. I never doubted myself, and I believed, in my opinion, I was the best looking one on stage. I might have not been the leanest one, but I
Okay.
I, I didn't doubt. Like I was up there. I held my own. You know what I mean? And then after that, one of the promoters, he invited me to it was like a yacht photo session with all the women competitors because there was a lot of pro bikini bodybuilders, like women, like Olympia, that go to
Yeah.
the Olympia. And I was the only man invited, despite placing fourth. And I ended up not going.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I ended up hanging out with my friends instead. I just hung out with them. But I was the only man invited to the photo session. The winner wasn't invited, none of them. So I kind of felt good about that. I was like, okay, they liked my look a lot, regardless if I didn't win. But why I changed kind of a trajectory after that show is because it's
Yeah.
like after that, there was one guy that talked to me. He was a big bodybuilder. He was in magazines. He was like maybe 35, 40, and he was telling me, don't like change your look or take a lot of drugs to try to get a bunch of size or try to downsize yourself for no reason. He's like, you have the perfect look right now. Just keep building upon that. And that kind of resonated with me. And it was kind of where I was already at. So it's like after that fourth place, it's like my perfectionism and like feeling like I needed to always be better and always be the best. Like it kind of just like dwindled away. And I was like, I don't know if I want to, because I had a great time, but I was like, I don't know if I want to make my career bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I want to make that my entire life because, like, I see a lot of how these guys look and how they live their lives and how they feel. And a lot of them, they don't look like they enjoy it. And I had a great time up there. And I feel like for me, in order to be extremely successful, I cannot have a good time. Like I had a good time leading in and going into the show. I wasn't stressing. There was never a time period during the prep where I was like, oh man, like this is torture. It was like a breeze. And I feel like that was like more reminiscent of like golden era bodybuilding. Like none of them were really like yeah, it was probably tough dieting, but none of them really looked like they were like how bodybuilders look now. They all looked like they still, if they wanted to eat a pie 4 days out, like Arnold talked about it, he would. You know what I mean? Like they weren't
Yeah.
super like obsessed and like you have to struggle and go through pain to be the best. Like they had fun and they still went out and did their own thing and went to a restaurant. And it's like, I don't know. I was like, dude, I started bodybuilding because of that golden era, like how they lived,
Yeah.
not just how they looked. And that is what really like inspired me. But the modern era of bodybuilding is the complete opposite of that.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool, how you frame that. So it's really just sticking to what you were originally into, and they're doing something else. Like the competition in bodybuilding is doing something else rather than
Mhm.
what you were originally into when you started bodybuilding and wanted to get into it. And that's kind of how it is too, is because if you want to compete with some of these guys, you're going to have to be using insulin, you're going to have to be using growth hormone, you're going to have to be using huge amounts of steroids and putting your body through this really tough thing for a long period of time, and you're gonna have to keep doing that in order to keep competing with those guys. So I like seeing guys pick alternative routes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I decided to do. I was like, you know what? Like I even stopped taking growth hormone. I stopped taking any insulin. I stopped taking, higher dosages. And I was like, why am I taking growth hormone? Like, is it just because everyone else takes it? Like, oh, you take growth hormone because everyone else does it. Like, it's just kind of the way to go about it. And I'm like, all right, that's not really the greatest reason when you really think about it. And it's like, well, what happens if I take it out? Do I look better if I take it out? And I take it out, and in my opinion, I feel like I look better without it.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Well, when you
that's
stay on
my
steroids, that's one of the cool things about growth hormone is the gains don't really go away that you made on growth hormone as long as you stay on the steroids.
yeah. Yeah, so like the growth hormone played a part, and of course, it's helped transform and kind of build my physique. But it's not something I feel like I need anymore because I was never really like super impressed with it. I was never like, man, like I need this. Like this is doing a lot for me. It was always just kind of in the background doing its thing. And same with like Humalog or insulin. It's like I could get a pump regardless if I take insulin or not. Like I'm not eating 1,700 grams of carbs. I eat rather low carb majority of the time, a low moderate amount because that's just how I prefer to eat. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't need this.
That's kind of surprising to hear about the Humalog because usually guys notice a huge boost from taking Humalog, right? Like the first month you're on it, maybe gaining 15, 20 pounds, and it pretty much looks like it goes into your muscle. Do you
Yeah, I
notice
mean,
that?
I did notice that. I noticed that cosmetic balloon up from it. Yeah, I did. I noticed how much fuller and rounder I looked, but at the same time, it was like that's not really the aesthetic that I'm going for
Okay.
because it gets
Yeah.
to a point where it just looks very chemically inflated. You look very chemically inflated. Like even that little 5 to 6 I use every day pre-workout, you look different. You look like you're taking more drugs. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just didn't think it was necessary for me. I'm like, why don't I really taking this? Like, I'm not aspiring to be Mr. Olympia. What's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that's cool because a lot of guys feel like what you said, like growth hormone, insulin, that's what everybody's doing. So you got to do it too because that's the way that people do it. A lot of guys feel the pressure from that.
Of course, I felt it too. I used to do it religiously. I used to pin my GH twice a day for 4.5 years straight. And I was like, I need to do this every single day. Like, I would take it with me to girlfriend's house. I would take it with me on trips. I had to make sure everything was packed up and that I had
Oh yeah,
everything,
bring
that I
that
had my
stuff, right?
static water so I can mix it there. And I'm just like, dude, that shit, it just gets to a point where it's too obsessive. It's too much. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? It's
Mr.
really too
Pharmacy.
much. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's just too much. And I'm like, dude, let's be real. We're the golden era guys. I keep bringing it up, but very little of any of them were using growth hormone, and they probably didn't use it. If they did, they didn't use it enough to actually, at least not like guys today. They weren't using it enough to actually reap something out of it. Like at least from what I've heard, none of them were really using it because it was very hard and expensive to get. Because I think it was like made through like cadaver, so it was like really hard to get. Like wasn't easy. You know what I mean? And it's like they didn't need any of that. They didn't need insulin. They didn't need GH. They didn't need all this other shit to look good and look amazing. It's just like they took what they had, what they were prescribed by, I guess, their doctor or whoever they got their shit from, whether it was a little bit of Deca, Dianabol, or Primobolan, whatever it was, and then they trained and they ate and they did it every single day or every other day. They were just consistent.
Yeah, and speaking of which, you told me you went on Deca recently.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with a little NPP these
Okay.
past 13 days, 2 weeks.
How's that going so far?
I love it. I really like it. I'm only on 100 milligrams, so I'm on a low dosage. I just inject it twice a week, 50 milligrams on Monday, 50 on Thursday. Keep it simple. And I noticed it
Surprised you can even feel it.
right away, like really strong,
Ah,
really fucking strong. Yeah, like I started seeing it first, like the subtle change in the physique. Like test only for me, 500 feels a little hollow, a little sharp, and a little flat. Like when I up my test, I don't get really bloofy or balloony unless it's really high. 500 makes me feel a little hollow, like a little sharp, but flat sharp, not like dense. It's just kind of like flat. You know what
yeah.
I
Well, it
mean?
doesn't have that blow up from the inside effect yet. It's just not enough to give that
Yeah.
effect where the muscles kind of blow up from the inside out.
But it does sharpen me and like hollow me out. Like it kind of makes everything like a little bit more like um, a little sharper looking. You know what I mean? Dry, a little dry. And then I threw the Nandrolone in 100 milligrams, and instantly it's like the skin kind of like retracted, like pulled back, like
Mm.
tightened, and the physique, the muscles started looking a little bit thicker, a little denser,
It's pushing
and
against the skin now. Before
yeah,
maybe
and
it was a little flatter. Now it's
yeah,
pushing.
it's like with the testosterone only, it's like it wasn't as tight. It was kind of like hollow and dry, but it wasn't tight. It looked kind of like natural. You know what I mean? And then the MPPs in there, I mean, it raises collagen synthesis by a lot. You know what I mean? It really messes with that. It like tightens everything up and then kind of gives you a little bit of like thickness, like an armor plate kind of look around your muscles, like your bone density just got thicker everywhere. That's how it looks, and it doesn't make me look watery or bloated. It just make if anything, it makes me look leaner because now it's like I'm more defined and my muscles are popping out more.
Yeah, yeah. I know that look you're talking about. So that's what you're on now is 500 tests, 100 NPP.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed about the MPP right away is the change in mood. 19 Nors, I respond. I'm a bit of a hyper responder to 19 Nors, a bit of a hypo responder to testosterone. Like on testosterone only, sex drive was like 5 or 6. Quality of life was decent. It was good, but it just felt kind of like I was just kind of driven. Like I was just like a little bit mechanical, a little bit just like objective based. Like I just need to get stuff done. There wasn't a whole lot of pleasure. Like a little
Uh-huh.
bit of rough around the edges maybe. And then I throw the Nandrolone in and instantly sex drive and kind of like dopamine, like feel good motivation kind of just goes up. You know what I mean? Like it has a really profound mental effect, and then just feeling more calm. I noticed you've talked about that, the Deca and Nandrolone making bodybuilders feel more calm. I definitely noticed that as well.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so yeah, you get the best of both worlds then, because it seems like, I mean, to me it looks like Arnold kind of used Deca and Nandrolone pretty much his whole life. That I
Yeah.
kind of see that like as what he was stayed on all the time. And I mean, he's obviously known for having like a high libido and everything. So, I don't think it killed his sex drive or anything. So I'm guessing Arnold doesn't get Deca dick.
Yeah. Neither do I. Neither do I.
Okay.
No, Deca probably raises my sex drive more than any other. Nandrolone raises my sex drive more than any other steroid, more than testosterone. Maybe I think it even beats out Tren for me. Yeah,
Interesting.
it's very responsive libido. It's like test is like really physical, so it's like the idea of having sex is right in front of you and then you react in that moment, but it's not as warm and it's not as sensual. It's kind of like I'm having sex, this is how sex happens and whatever. And then Nandrolone is like animalistic. It's like desire. It's like intimate. It's more like your sense of smell is like 5 times stronger. All this, like the sensual, like feel and touch just gets like amplified. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And my erections on Deca, I remember I did Deca only like 1,500 milligrams. I remember because I didn't have any testosterone in there. So, of course, that drive from testosterone was missing. But my erections were like the best they ever were in my life. Like, testosterone never competed. Trend, it was just like instant all the time. And that's still how I feel now with throwing it in.
Okay.
So, it gives me the opposite of what a lot of guys deal with. And when on testosterone, it's like I could take some Cialis, and even then, it's rather inconsistent. It's like my brain can't get as stimulated without all that kind of progesterone, neuro steroid activity going on, and dopamine. It's like my brain needs all that extra shit that goes on in the background.
It seems like that. It seems like you get good because taking the estrogen, taking 4 milligrams of estrogen, and then seems like the female hormones, you feel really good on those.
That was my highest sex drive I've ever had, ever. Taking oral estradiol. It
Yeah,
almost it's very similar to this. It's very similar, but it was just more manic, very, very like almost uncontrollable.
have you had gyno surgery?
I did, yeah,
Okay. Okay. So that is also part of how you're handling doing these higher estrogens and nandrolones, et cetera.
yeah, yeah. I felt really good on the oral estradiol. I feel really good now. The only thing now is I get lonely at night more. Like I get a little bit lonely. And that's kind of rough. That's kind of been like hitting me a little bit. Like I want like intimacy, like connection, or like I want to like do something like dopamine, like food. I noticed my desire for intimacy has gone up, and my wanting to like eat more has gone up.
Okay.
Like just eat just because it's good. Like if I see cookies or fucking donuts, I'm like, man, I really want to eat that. Versus before, I could kind of test only. I could kind of just be like, no, don't eat that. Like shut it down instantly. So there's other things that I've noticed with it.
Yeah, that's a good perspective on all the different things that can happen there with that. So it looks like you got a new place, right? You're in a new house. Uh,
Yeah.
you bought a new house. Is it so you're living there alone now?
Yeah. Yeah. I just bought my new place. I'm still moving some stuff in, but I have majority of my stuff here now. Um,
Did
yeah.
you
And
get that? Did you get that with like your bodybuilding influencer money? Is that?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's cool to
Yeah.
see.
Through peptides, ever since, I kind of started talking about retatrutide and all these peptides, it really, just kind of brought that to fruition. You know what I mean? Like I helped scale a company pretty crazy, and it kind of just it just happened. It wasn't anything I planned. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like it's just I was like, okay. I started talking about it, and Retatrutide blew up, and I played a part, I would say, in that and making that really mainstream. So I became a little bit of the spokesperson for Retatrutide. I had the look going, people seeing the drastic change in my physique, so they seen that I wasn't just you know ta talking bullshit and trying to make money off people. They seen it month by month, me talking about my experiences with
yeah,
these, with Retatrutide and a few other peptides, that people were like, okay, this is the real deal, because he's looked a certain way for a while, and then bam, like everything changed, and it wasn't his gear usage, because I was still using a lot of gear. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, with the new place, do you have any cool bodybuilding plans for it? Like, how are you going to set it up to help you do your bodybuilding at maximal?
So I don't have any crazy bodybuilding plans. Nothing crazy like that. No home gyms. I much prefer working out at a gym. I like the environment. I like being around
Mhm.
people. But I do maybe plan on like doing some streaming stuff or like other forms of content. maybe not just bodybuilding. I kind of want to venture out a little bit. I feel like that would be good for me, you know. But of
Like,
course,
what do
I
you have
love
in mind?
body, and that's never gonna stop. Like that's like the most important thing in my life. Like bodybuilding, not necessarily being a competitive bodybuilder, but being in the gym 2 to 3 hours a day, 6 days a week. That's like I have to do that. It's like there's no I can't do that. It's like it's a necessity for me.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the house, just gonna enjoy the house. You're gonna sleep good. It's gonna help.
Yeah.
Gonna be eating your meals in there, making your gains.
Yeah, and maybe one day, having a family, starting a family, maybe 5, 10 years, who knows? I kind of was thinking about it that process of it as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are what are you eating at this time?
Right now, I'm eating a lot of whole eggs and egg whites and bread. So for breakfast every morning, I'll have 2 eggs and like a half a cup to a cup of egg whites with 2 pieces of toast and a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'll eat that. And then usually my
Really good
second,
breakfast.
yeah, it's a solid breakfast. It's nothing crazy. And then after that, I might have a 2 scoop protein shake right after, and then I might have a banana, and then maybe a couple handfuls of raspberries, blueberries, strawberries until I'm full, and then I'll kind of wait until the gym, and then I'll take my pre workout carbs, 50 grams pre workout, and then I'll take another 50 grams intra to the gym with me, and I'll sip on that, and then I'll finish up my workout. It'll probably be around nighttime, and then I'll have like a pound of either like ground turkey 99.1 or like rotisserie chicken breast or like ground bison with like a carb source like pasta or white rice, and then another protein shake, more fruit, maybe like a pound or a half a pound of fruit, mix of variety, maybe a banana with like a cashew or almond butter, and then I'll have like some nuts like almonds, cashews, just kind of like fill up on those because they're higher in calories, because I don't eat a lot. Like I don't eat a lot of meals throughout the day. I kind of fast a little bit till 12 or 1, and then that's when I eat my first meal.
Okay.
And then that's it. I kind of just end it there. And if I need anything else, I'll snack a little bit, and that's the day for the most part.
Are you cooking? Are you cooking all that?
Yeah.
Cool. So you like cooking then? But not
I'll
everybody
eat.
can cook. It's an essential
Yeah.
skill for bodybuilders.
No, yeah, I was around the time I seen Jay Cutler, I was cooking around 2 to 3 times a day.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Where'd you where'd you learn?
uh, I just fucking threw the meat in the pan and just started cooking it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just fucking grabbed it, threw it in there, and I started this trick where instead of doing white rice to everything, I just did gluten-free pasta, which is the same macros per half cup, and I would throw in like tomato sauce or like a basil, like a tomato basil or a tomato like garlic sauce, like a spaghetti sauce, and then I'd eat it like that, whether it's 99.1 ground turkey or ground bison or uh, chicken. I might mix it up, but I just kind of made my meals really simple and just stuck with that.
That works good. That's like man food. That's what it sounds like. Like
It,
simple
it,
stuff like that.
it's crazy because like to me, I cook a lot, but I do not see myself as a good cook or a creative one. So when you said that, I'm like, that's crazy, man. I'm like the most boring fucking cook in the world. Like the shit I eat is so simple, so plain. It's like I hear other people like what they cook, and I'm like, fuck, man, I am so boring. But it's like you have to be fucking boring if you want to be like successful bodybuilder. For the most part, some people can
Yeah.
get away cooking like these fucking crazy meals you see online, and it's like most of the time it's like a simple meat and rice and maybe vegetables. Most of the time it's a meat and a rice, and that's it.
Yeah. Uh
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much what I've always liked cooking too is eggs, beef, chicken, pork,
Yeah.
rice,
Yeah.
potatoes.
Pork's underrated too. Pork is a slept
Yeah.
on protein source that most people don't even touch.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely underrated. Like pork chops are really good. Great
Yeah.
protein.
Yeah, I just eat I don't even I'm not I wouldn't say I eat high carbs either. I'm a more low to moderate carb eater. I don't know. I just that's just kind of how I've always been. You know, I prefer to load up on the protein and I like to keep the fats a little bit higher than what modern bodybuilders like to eat. I tried the lower fat stuff, but I don't know. I think it's a little eating low fat all the time just kind of sucks.
Yeah, it has an effect on the
Fucking
brain for
sucks.
sure. You feel
Yeah,
that.
you feel kind of like I don't know, like you just feel kind of
Dizzy.
drained.
Almost dizzy or space headed, something like that.
Yeah, it's like you limiting your fats to 35 grams a day. It's like I was doing that for a while. I'm like, fuck, dude, this shit sucks.
Man, that's like chicken breast, white fish, and rice cakes.
Yeah, and fucking cream of rice. You know, these bodybuilders
Creamy rice,
doing
uh-huh.
their cream of rice. Fucking like you see Nick Walker talk about his diet. Like he goes Thanksgiving, he packs his food with him. He brings it. I'm like, oh my God, come on, man. Just enjoy the fucking Thanksgiving food, dude.
Yeah, well, I guess when you're competing for the Mr. Olympia, that's the one excuse
Yeah.
you can have.
I still wouldn't do it. If I was a Mr. Olympia, I still would eat the fucking the pies and the stuffing and the mac and cheese. You
Yeah,
know,
Ronnie
you only
Coleman
got
had.
one. Yeah, Ronnie Coleman, I really love the way he ate. He fucking slathered everything in barbecue sauce and Velveeta low fat cheese.
Velveeta is funny because that's just straight garbage.
Yeah, he would load up like 12 egg whites with like rice or it was like well grits, and then he would throw in like a couple packets of like low fat Velveeta cheese and just mix it up in a giant Tupperware, and that would be his first meal.
The grits, man. So when I was like 18, 19, still doing natural bodybuilding, and I was watching those like the Unbelievable by Ronnie Coleman, his training videos, I would see him making the grits, and so I was like, okay, I got to try the grits. You know, I'm not from the South, so I don't know about those. And I went to the store and got those, and I didn't like them. I didn't enjoy grits. Did
I
you ever do them with
I,
that?
I did. I actually do like grits. You got to have it with a little bit of salt, pepper, and a little bit of throw a cheese slice on top of it.
Okay, because they
You got
seem
to
like a
have it.
really cool food. Watching
You
Coleman
got
eat it.
Yeah, you got to eat it like a savory dish, or you could throw it in with your eggs with a little bit of cheese. Like it's the opposite of oatmeal or cream of rice. You think of those, you think like sweet. With grits, it's got to be like savory. So if you're eating it with
Okay.
eggs or uh, cheese or butter, throw a little butter in there, and it's like a little butter, salt, whatever. It really gives it a savory flavor. Yeah,
Okay, I'll
I
have to
like
give it a
grits.
try again.
I like Southern food. It's good. I don't eat it very often, but it's tasty, you know?
Yeah, and all those meals that he had in those videos, like the French fries, the baked French fries with the chicken, the
The
barbecue
sweet
sauce, the
potato.
grits, yeah, the sweet potatoes. He had a lot of cool food in those videos. It's just kind of inspiring seeing him do it.
Yeah, and it's not hard to make either. Sweet potato fries, you just cut up a sweet potato, bake it, bam, take it out, whatever. And then you cook your steak up or your chicken and eat it like that. Simple.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So you're still looking to be super ripped up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you using any diuretics still? Because I remember at one point hydrochlorothiazide was benefiting you.
Yeah, I used to use it when I was a little bit younger because my diet was shit. It just really sucked. I was eating out like fast food all the time and just
Okay.
junk food. So I would always held a lot of water retention, always, because I was eating out 2 to 3 times a day for like every single day. That's just how I never cooked when I was younger. I had money finally, and I just bought everything and ate out. So I would utilize that as like a way to cope with all the water retention. And I tried using it a while back. I remember how when I used to use it, I always felt so weak. And when I tried using it again, it made me feel really fucking weak. Like, cannot get a pump or
Yeah.
train correctly. So I don't like messing with diuretics a whole lot. I might touch a little bit of diuretic, like dandelion root.
Uh-huh.
If I have a day where I eat like a lot of junk, or I have like I go overboard a little bit, I might, and I weigh myself and I weigh a little bit heavier, I might take just a little bit just to help flush out a little bit of maybe excess water I don't need or I'm holding on to, and that's it. So I still utilize it a little bit, but not like how I used to.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to mess with that stuff anymore.
Yeah, there usually is a way around it. I think everybody that's manipulated their carbs has kind of seen how the diuretics kind of just do what manipulating the carbs do. Like if you lower your carbs, your kidney stops holding sodium, and it does the same thing that the diuretic pill does. So, not always
Mhm.
necessary to use them, but they can be helpful.
Yeah, it's just about eating clean, not eating a ton of sugar or processed foods and not eating a ton of carbs. And, you're not going to hold a lot of water, you know?
Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
So how about Primobolan? Do you see yourself using that anymore?
No, not anymore.
You
I
finished
think I'm
with it?
hanging. Yeah. I've had 23, 24. I had 3 years with it, 3 years.
Mhm.
And just after trying this Nandrolone NPP, I feel like Nandrolone's better than Primobolan pretty much every way. Like for me, I think it just beats it in every category.
Well, it's certainly more anabolic, and I'm sure you're feeling that. I'm sure you're feeling like, man, this stuff really goes straight to your muscles when you take it.
Yeah, I've had to actually eat a lot more now. Like when I was on 500 tests versus now throwing in 100 MPP, it's like my daily caloric expenditure has gone up like 30 to 40% to stay in a deficit, like a decent deficit. It's like I'm burning so much more calories. Like my body needs so much more now. I threw it in thinking, oh, it's going to be a little add-on, a little quality of life, like a little bit more libido, a little bit more performance. It's like, no, it's like massive performance. It's like now it's like I need to eat more and I'm struggling to eat consistent amount every day without like feeling trash at the end of the week. So just that little 100 milligrams is really strong. Um, and Prima Bolin never really made me train any better or never gave me a performance increase. It just gave me a little bit of a drier, crisp, prettier look, and it allowed me to run massive amounts of testosterone.
Mhm. Uh, yeah, well, some steroids seem like they really go straight to the muscles, and then others don't. So, like testosterone, for example, you take that and you feel it in your muscles, but it doesn't feel like, man, you just took an injection to your muscles the way that something like Nandrolone or like Trenbolone or orals like Anadrol or something like that feels. That sounds like that's what you're describing. You're feeling with the Nandrolone.
Yeah, testosterone feels normal. Like testosterone at 500 feels very normal. Like you don't, and that's how it's supposed to feel. You're not supposed to feel like anything drastic from that. And then Primobolan, you don't even, I mean, 100, 200 milligrams of it, doubt you're really going to notice much of anything going on there, maybe a little bit. But the issue with Primo for me is that when I take Primobolan, I have to run more testosterone because now my estrogen is being reduced. It's being lowered in my body. So if I want to run a decent amount of Primobolan, I have to jack my testosterone up really high. And I don't know, I don't really feel like doing that. You know what I mean? I kind of like the more moderate route as a look and just overall, just day to day. Like I don't want to have to inject 6 milliliters of testosterone every single week. You know what I mean? And 6 milliliters of Primobolan, that shit hurts every time. So I'm just like, eh. And it's like I could get away with 100 milligrams of Nandrolone, 500 tests, and it feels like I'm taking like 400 or 500 milligrams of Primobolan. Like 100 milligrams of Nandrolone feels like I'm taking like 400 to 500, but even stronger. Like it's just a totally different steroid. Like you can't really compare Primobolan and Nandrolone.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate statement there.
Like it's so much stronger, and it's not stronger in the sense like Trenbolone strong, where you're gonna feel like fucking crazy on it. It's so much stronger as what it does in the background. It's like everything gets amplified, like your training, your ability to gain muscle, your ability to stay full. Like your joints, your skin, like your skin quality improves. Like everything is like it's like your body is just like working harder at uh, repairing everything. That's how it
Yeah.
feels. And
Are
it
they
has
using?
effects in the brain too. You also got to pay, it has some strong effects, like subtly strong effects, not like trend, but it's doing stuff in the brain.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And do you? So you do feel calmer on it, right?
Yeah, I do. And I feel calmer at the same time though. I also feel kind of like, um, I wouldn't say flat or neutral, but it's like my internal state feels really like more on phase, like kind of like this. Like on testosterone, I might have periods where I feel anxious or I'm like amped up, or I might like blow a gasket. Like if someone gets me mad, I might just fucking lose it, like, or just
Highs
kind of
and
feel
lows.
more, huh?
Highs and lows.
Yeah, like I might feel like one day I just like fucking, like just lose it. And then on Nandrolone, it's just kind of like this all the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like you're not phased as much, like be in public and sometimes I'll get anxious or whatever. And on Nandrolone, it's just kind of like it doesn't really phase me a whole lot. Nothing really phases me. And people notice it. Like people do tell you seem a little bit more chill and more relaxed. Like I've noticed other people noticing the subtle change in my personality and how I come off just by taking it.
So it sounds like you're at a pretty good place right now with the new house and did the competition and where you're at with the new cycle and everything. So what's your plans for the new year coming up here, 2026?
I have something in stores that I'm just gonna have to wait and just see, over time. It's not a surprise, but it's something that's on my mind. But other than that, dude, I just want to focus on just being more consistent and just kind of. I like to take things day by day. I'm not the kind of guy to always plan something really big or have anything crazy. I just like to take it day by day and go from there.
Yeah. Are with the physique, are you working on bringing up weak points or are you just going to maintain?
I would say I'm like refining. I'm
Hmm.
at the point where I'm just refining my physique. So think like a Frank Zane kind of deal, or an Arnold kind of deal. Like when he wasn't really getting any bigger, he was just kind of like um, leaning out into his blast, like how they used to. They kind of grew and like dropped body fat into their blast back then. They didn't really. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of them like bulked up, but it seemed like a lot of them they kind of just took things and like that's how I kind of go about it now. Like I don't really do bulks anymore or like mass phases. Like I kind of just when I'm cruising, I kind of just maintain, and then when I blast, I try to get a little bit leaner and recomp. You know what I mean? And get a little bit tighter. Like I kind of just refine what I already have. If you kind of get
Okay.
what I mean there, like I'm not really chasing any size. I'm happy with my size now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing is that you've put on the mass that you need to put on to be a bodybuilder. That's there, and now you're working on the shape, working on making everything look more the way you want it to.
Yeah, more aesthetic, more aesthetically pleasing. Like I never want my physique to drift so far away that a normal person looks at me and be like, that's too much. Or that's like not a good look. Like I always want people to look at me and be like, that's a beautiful look right there. Or that's an amazing body. So I kind of am just chasing this idea of like perfection, a perfect body, not the biggest body. Like I want to go for,
Was
huh?
a good decision. Getting off insulin then was a good decision, like with what you're saying right now.
Yeah. And I believe growth hormone, getting off growth hormone was a good decision for that because I notice subtle things with growth hormone, and that's mainly just water retention,
Yeah.
not being on it, especially in the face with growth hormone. It's like when I take growth hormone, my physique looks fuller, but the midsection kind of blurs out a little bit easier, and the face gets a little bit fuller and rounder easier. So you'll notice, like, you take growth hormone, even if it's a decent dosage, you wake up, your face is a little puffy because you're dehydrated, and then you drink your water, you take your whatever, your diuretic, or you flush it out, and you look good. You know, you're like, I look good now. It's 1 p.m., whatever. Then you train and you take your intra and your pre-workout carbs and you eat your dinner, and then it's like 10 p.m. and you look at yourself and you're back to being kind of puffy again. And your
Yeah.
face is it's like instantly changed. It's like fuck. Face looks kind of full and round again. And it's like a never-ending fucking battle with growth. It's like really inconsistent. The physique and the face can change. Like it's like hour by hour almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Specifically, I like what you're talking about how a bodybuilder's body can change during the day and it can change day to day.
Yeah. And taking the growth hormone out allows there to be more consistency without that consistent swing and change in water retention. So it's like you take the growth hormone out, let's say you're at a certain body fat percentage, you look at your face, it's chiseled, you want to eat some pizza or you have some cookies or you go out with your friends, have a few drinks, whatever. You wake up the next day, your face looks exactly the same and your physique looks exactly the same as it did before. So it's
Yeah.
like there's less swings. It's like there's less extremes. So on growth, you could look amazing some days. You look really pumped, really full. Other days, you could spill over really easily. It shows everywhere. You take the growth hormone out, it's like you don't have that extreme on this side or on that side, but you're always kind of like right in that neutral zone where everything is rather consistent unless you really fuck up and you really start going off plan and then you start gaining body fat, and then that's when it allows you to kind of see your true physique for where it's at a little bit easier.
Mhm.
That's why I
Yeah.
don't like it in. I think it just makes you look a little bit more refined. You're trading away that extra fat loss and that extra fullness and maybe potential muscle growth for a better aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody kind of believes that just from seeing the 80s and then the 90s bodybuilding. And then after the 90s bodybuilding, nobody, it's freaky. It's freaky, but that's about it.
Yeah, and it's like, why? I mean, why so much growth hormone? Why do you need to take so much? It's not making you look better. It's not making you look better. It's just making you look bigger, but not bigger in a good way. It's bigger in
Yeah.
a what the fuck? Like you look like you're not healthy.
Well, yeah, what it can do to your face is kind of interesting too. Like you were talking about, it can make your face more big, and
Yeah.
it also seems to do. And insulin seems to do this too. Is just does something to the skin, and you can see guys. They'll be maybe 7 to 8% body fat, bone dry, shredded, but then they'll have a face that looks like a bulldog.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck is that? It's like, and people don't understand is that like growth hormone, it's like it's not just water. It's like there's soft tissue growth going on there when you take higher dosages or you're taking consistent amounts year
Yeah,
round. It's like
like
you're
skin, more skin growing onto your head and face.
yeah, it's like you're getting skin that's just growing over. Like it's continuing to just, what is it called when the cells like they what is it called? They multiply or something like that with growth
Hyperplasia.
hormone. Yeah, it's like your skin is consistently just getting thicker and soft tissue growth is happening, and that's not really ever a good thing. Like it doesn't make you look better. Like guys think when they think, oh, growth hormone makes you look younger, like it makes your skin look better. It does to an extent, but it makes you look younger because it makes you look a little bit rounder and your skin a little bit softer, but that could also kind of backfire and make you just look not as good. And if you're taking high amounts, that's where shit starts growing, like your ears or your nose. Like a lot of younger guys right now, like teenagers, they think that having excessively high IGF-1 levels and growth hormone levels will give you a more aesthetic looking face, a better looking face or jaw. And I'm like, dude, no, you're gonna look like a fucking caveman. You're gonna look like a fucking
That's
caveman if you
so
do that.
misguided.
Yeah, it's like no, 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 no. Like they're like, no, high growth hormone amounts are good. High IGF-1 is good for aesthetics. I'm like, if you want to look like a fucking freak,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah, look up acromegaly on Google
or
Images.
like Rich Piana. Like nothing against Rich, great guy, but like he was a probably
Yeah.
pretty good example of what that looks like.
Yeah, his head looked like Frankenstein.
Yeah,
It like it did.
he looked like fucking. He looked like what was it? He looked like Thanos, like in the fucking
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and a
think
lot
that
of
was
body.
probably I think Thanos was probably modeled after him. I think they must have looked at Piana and made Thanos.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think bodybuilding is just like there's a lot of drugs going on. And I'm not saying I'm perfect and that I don't take drugs or I haven't experimented with taking a lot. I've been there and done that. I just think it's just kind of excessive, you know?
Yeah, that's a great place to be at. Having done it and been like, okay, I figured this out and this is cool. But I don't need to keep doing that. I don't need to keep putting this stuff in me at such huge amounts. That's a good mindset for a bodybuilder to be at.
Yeah, because look at guys like Arnold. Like he's known to have one of the greatest physiques of all time or in the world. Some people still have him as number one. He's up there for me. And he kind of got to a point where he said enough's enough. Like he didn't really take it farther. He definitely probably could have if he wanted to. He could have kept going and being like, I want to continue with modern advancement of bodybuilding. But it's like right when 1980 hit, when bodybuilding was changing, it's like right up until 1980, like that year was the change of bodybuilding forever. After 1980, it was like that year was different. It's like 75, like all the 70s, 76, 77, they all modeled that kind of same round, full, healthier looking physique, more shape, more like symmetry. And then the 80s started, and that's when they really started valuing hardness and being more
Mhm.
extreme. And Arnold almost lost. He won because, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and his reputation probably helped him a lot. But that was the year he almost lost because he wasn't really up to par with all the other guys in terms of being that extreme level of, I guess you could say, uh, condition.
Skinlessness.
And then after that year, that's when it started shifting after that. And then the
Yeah.
whole vibe and like kind of theme of bodybuilding was never the same. If you pay attention to that, it's like pumping iron around that time. It had a certain vibe to it, and then after that, each decade after that, it started getting darker. It started getting more alone. Like you have to suffer. You have to like go through the pain. It's more extreme, more kind of like the opposite of what it was popular for, which was like this is the ideal man, the ideal male body. To this is what a body made in a lab looks like.
Yeah, Dorian Yates came and he just killed that. Lee Haney maybe was the last bit that was
Yeah.
kind of keeping that alive, and then Dorian Yates just slammed the door on all that, made bodybuilding a misery sport.
Yeah, Lee Haney was a good like he was like at the pinnacle. He was like a good balance of everything. He was a little bit
Yeah,
bigger than Arnold, a little bit drier, more conditioned, but he was never too extreme. He always held a really good shape and really underrated bodybuilder for
yeah,
sure.
and he had like a great personality too, where he really was like embodied what a Mr. Olympia was. I like watching his. He has these old training videos from the '80s that he did with Frank Zane and Sean Ray. And have you seen any of those? They're wearing
Yeah.
spandex. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Lee Priest, I think,
Yeah.
was on a few of those
Yeah. Lee
too.
Priest was on it too. Yeah. Yeah. Those are cool videos. And Lee Haney is training in those videos, and he embodies what a Mr. Olympia should be.
Yeah, he had a good character, and it's like you notice after that, like a lot of bodybuilders. I have a question, like, why do you think it seemed like after that, a lot of them just became dicks or assholes? What do you think changed? Have you noticed that? Like after like Lee Haney and like going into the 90s and 2000s and now it's like all of them bodybuilders have like a stick up their ass almost. Like Phil Heath, stick up his ass. Dorian Yates, a bit of a stick up his ass. Even
Yeah.
Lee Priest at times, bit of a stick up his ass. All of them, it's like all of them now. They're like kind of just they're not people you would ever really want to hang out with.
Yeah. Well, I have to think that it's the schedule. The schedule is just too full, and there's no time to do anything except for just be a bodybuilder, and you begin feeling like a robot.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah. When I was getting ready to CJ, I was in that mindset where it was just all bodybuilding. I was
Uh-huh.
an ass. I was a bit of a dick. My friends and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that happens. But I think for short periods of time, it can be beneficial like that. Getting ready for a competition, you can just be like, hey, for the next couple months, everything is about what I'm doing. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably do that again. I'll in the future. I'll probably get ready for another competition, and I'll probably do it my way. Like I will probably stick to the same compounds to test Nandrolone and maybe a little bit of Dianabol. I still want to experiment with that a little bit here soon. Kind of go back to my roots, and
Mhm.
who knows, maybe I'll do a competition on that stack. It could
That
definitely
would
be
be good.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast today. Thanks for coming on the Steroids podcast. And we'll be looking forward to seeing what you do coming here up here in the new year.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, Dan. And for the people that are watching, it's always great to be on. Uh, yeah, it was nice. It was a nice talk, nice video.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. See you later.